Welcome to another episode of Worldcup Soccer Podcast for us, by us, talking about intersection of black culture and soccer. Got your boy here, Greggo here. Got my main men. First off, I got Devin the dude. What's going on with you, boss?
What's going on, man? We out here. It's another day.
Cool. Got TK on the ones and twos. How you feeling?
I'm great until I noticed the shadow right here. I was like, ugh, bad lighting on my part. I know. I'm not a gaffer, though. Slow down.
You're supposed to be working on these green screens and everything. We might have to come back later on this summer with like we coming through the AR through Division Pro and everything. So, we'll figure it out.
I don't know what the payments look like because they're only going to give you a year on that one. But we'll see.
Oh man! And also with us this week, the proud supporter of the UEFA Champions League champions, Man City, Professor Jermaine. How you doing, man?
Let me just correct you real quick, Greggo. The treble Champions League champions.
Here we go.
I'm doing fantastic. Man, I'm doing wonderful. But that's all I'll say for now.
Here we go, man.
What's good, Devin?
Cool. Come on, bring it on.
It's tough.
Shout out to all my peoples.
Oh man.
I've been sitting in the corner for years and years.
You know what?
Scheming.
You know what, Devin? I'll say this much. It could be worse. You could be Spurs right now because they over here catching strays just because West Ham managed to win a European trophy, and I didn't realize because Spurs and Arsenal is so promoted, we don't even really talk about West Ham and Spurs. So West Ham giving Spurs all the shit, all of it, and meanwhile, it is so pitiful looking all rich and everything, but they ain't got no trophies to speak for it. But so
at least they got a manager now.
They do have a manager. They got the guy from
that's tough.
Celtic. I'm not even gonna try that last name. I just know it's Ange. That's all I know.
You already disrespected them. They got that guy from ...
Yeah. No, Celtic is Celtic, but yeah, I'm not even gonna try that last name. That ain't my ministry. But
Giamakis, it's the thing with the players and managers in that region. That one is
actually pretty easy to pronounce, but I just know it's post something, but we can't do all that right now. That's a little bit of work, but yeah. Here we are, the European season finale for the international episodes. I think I told y'all about this last week. We'll be off on this on the international episodes for at least for the next month because we ain't got that much to talk about, at least not until after the first of next month when transfers will start hitting up. But we got something for you for this episode because the moves are already getting made, and we might have to deal with a whole nother round of will Mbappe go to Madrid? We might have to do that. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out your favorite podcast apps: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Audio Boom, all of them, and of course on the FTC UTD YouTube channel at 2centsfc.com. Man, I was really hoping to avoid this, Jermaine, but y'all did it. I feel even lower than I did 2 years ago when TK's boys won the Champions League. I feel like this was supposed to be a tradition unlike any other. Y'all supposed to just
hold on. How can you feel lower? Because they would have won it.
Because the City.
That was the alternative. That was it was City versus Chelsea.
Hey, Meteor versus Meteor. Sometimes you just got to root for the
not even my
blow up.
Was it the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Come on, man.
Just about. Because I've already been through Chelsea winning the Champions League. I'm like, I can handle that at this point. But it was supposed to be never, ever, ever, ever City winning a Champions League. And then we run into a situation. We finally get City back into the Champions League final 2 years later. Now against Inter. Inter gave y'all a good run. Like they gave a solid run. Like,
Damn good match.
I thought for a second that y'all might mess this one up too, but Rodrigo came through for y'all, and here we are. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. To be honest, my internet's going in and out. Y'all was kind of choppy, but I'm feeling so good that I'm just gonna talk. I'm not sure what y'all said. No, but I'm feeling good, man. Rodri definitely came through for us. Shout out to Akanji making that smooth through ball to kind of set up the whole play. And Rodri's goal, man, he bent that thing around two of them Inter Milan defenders. Boy, it was just sweet. It was just sweet. So yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's finally get that monkey off our back. Just to finally claim the CL title. Man, and to be the only second English club to do that, other than your boys, right? United. So it's just there's just a lot of poetry.
Second.
Second. But
you can't. As a wise man once said, you can't be first, but you can be next.
It's a what have you done for the listen, league, man.
Okay. Exactly. So yeah, man, it feels good, man. It just feels really good. We could talk about later about what next season looks like in terms of the transfer. I know we're going to talk about transfers for next season, but there's already talks about some key pieces possibly leaving. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next season. But next season is next season. We're going to enjoy this treble now. I'm just so happy for the team. Happy for Pep finally get that CL over here in England, and happy for Haaland. Happy for De Bruyne. Jack Grealish is out here just drunk for the last 72 hours. So that's been fun to watch.
That's the whole cam right there.
He is out here.
And he was outside.
First of all,
he really is, man.
First of all,
yeah, he really is. He's he's just living his best life right now. So good for him. So he had a rough, obviously he had a rough first season, but the second season he kind of found his form. So it's just good to see him. Good to see the season end the way it ended.
Now I've heard of the logic of celebrating in whatever big moment that you have, you celebrate in the clothes that you wore at that moment. And he definitely did that because I think I saw pictures of him at 5 in the morning in local time in Manchester, and he's still wearing his full kit and still just partying like it's no tomorrow, taking any shot that's given to him. I aspire to be that type of delirious when I celebrate something, because he has definitely been out there. The pictures have been out there. Hey, sometimes you gotta flourish. That's definitely what he's been doing. With this, of course, this is the trouble for Man City. This is actually Pep Guardiola's second trouble. First one being in the famous 2009 Barcelona team. I think we were talking about a few weeks ago, as far as best managers ever. It kind of had to, I kind of had to be put back in my place. I'm like, Pep just might have a solid claim again. Just having, of course, this solid run. He's won 5 Premier Leagues with Man City. Of course, that's coming after 4 straight Bundesliga titles with Bayern Munich, of course, the historic run with Barcelona, and now he's back on top in Champions League. This is now his 3rd Champions League trophy. Of course, he won the first 2 with Barcelona. The only person who's won more Champions Leagues is last year's winning coach, Carlo Ancelotti. He's got a solid argument. I feel like everything that I used to say about him, everything I used to say about Messi, this year they've shut me up. They really have.
This has been the pinnacle season of football for sure in terms of, I want to say like, well, yeah, it definitely in history. But I don't know if you want, like, I was going to say, I did want to say monkey off your back kind of saying, but definitely something along, you know, those lines where that kind of thing happened today. Like, they finally, you know, got the monkey off their back in terms of Messi. You know, it like things, there was a huge shift this year in terms of football and like accomplishments for players, teams, coaches, you know, things of that nature.
No, I mean, you guys pretty much nailed it on your head. I mean, as I just mentioned earlier, it's a what have you done for me lately league, and as of right now, that winner is Pep. Pep is the guy that's reached the pinnacle, so you can't deny him, you know, his props at this point, right? Yeah, I mean, like TK just said, it was essentially just trying to get that monkey off your back. It was just like, all right, he could do all this other stuff until the Champions League, and then something falls apart. So will he ever get over that hill with City? And here we are. So, you know, respect to that man, respect to City. It was pretty much for me. It was like, look, once we lost out on the title, go ahead and just win the whole thing. Just win the treble, win the FA Cup, win the Champions League. Just go ahead. I don't really care anymore. So congrats to them.
Do it for the Brits,
man. Of course, I had my prediction last week. It was just going to be pain, and I mean, once you heard that final whistle, and and it's like, yeah, it's just reality. It's just hit. Like they finally have won. You're just like, and again, like after they won, they beat Real Madrid. It was like, yeah, this might go down. That just might go down. But again, Inter made it a good game, and I feel like, you know, if it wasn't for him being able to go home to Megan Thee Stallion, Lukaku would be the loneliest man in the world right now, because like the man just can't catch a break, man. Like from the miss at the World Cup,
blocking your own shot,
basically stopping, blocking the shot that would have definitely tied the game for Inter. Like, man,
he had a chance to put a goal in. On top of that too, it's almost comical. Like if you put one of those, you know, like rails behind it, and like just like TikTok that for 20 seconds or so. But it sucks because, like, you know, I want to see the man succeed. As he's still on my club's wage bill for.
That's why he can afford to do all this stuff. You know, it don't matter.
Yeah,
he gets his check.
He got his check. He got his woman. It's like, hey, it could be worse, but it ain't that bad.
It's like they still playing me. I ain't Gareth Bale.
I mean, do y'all see a deal being made to where he goes back to Inter permanently?
No, he definitely doesn't want to be elsewhere. He does not want to be
there.
Not
sure.
I mean, that was the whole thing, right? That's why he's back at Inter, right? He was like, get me the hell out of here. So, I mean, at this point, Chelsea's just taking that L and eating that salary until it's time for him to go.
If we can get 33 mil out of him, that'd be fantastic, you know, considering we paid 98 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But on top of all that, there is an actual plausible solution for this to work out in a pretty positive manner for not only him but another squad player of the club. And yeah, it could hopefully be in Saudi Revolution is what I hope to see this season, or this silly season rather. The summer silly season. Yeah, so I mean, we're just waiting on him, man. But he could go. Enter another one of our players. So we kind of have a little bit of, you know, that in our pocket, if you will, ace in the pocket. We'll see what the leverage does.
No, I mean, I definitely get it, and like, hopefully, you know, wherever he goes, he and Megan find peace, because he definitely deserves it. I mean, and of course, he had his own tough season there. Of course, dealing with the racism out there, and mind you, it hit me. I don't know if it was Saturday after the final or maybe Sunday, but there was an Italian team that lost in each of the European finals. Roma played Sevilla in the Europa League final, lost. Fiorentina lost against West Ham in the Europa Conference League, and then, of course, Inter losing against Man City. It's like, hey, if y'all won't tied up in all this racismo, y'all, then the karma would look better upon you. But here you are, catching all these L's. So
I think that'll be the ultimate L would be for Napoli, the actual team who did succeed in the Italian league. Well, domestically speaking here, but I think it would be the ultimate L for them to lose Osimhen this summer.
I mean, the thing about that, and we kind of saw it when Inter won Serie A a couple of years ago, because that's when Lukaku went to Chelsea, and it seems like for whatever reason, in Italy, they win the league, and then all of a sudden the team gets blown up. Like we've already seen with Napoli, the head coach Spalletti, he stepped down a week ago. So like you're already seeing, that team slowly get torn about. Which Spalletti's been a lifer in Italian football, so I was glad to see him finally break through and win something. But yeah, I'm definitely surprised that he chose to go ahead and step down. I'm really like, hey, just take the summer off, come back and come back refreshed and make it work. But it's sometimes just the grind is just the grind, and you got to take a step back from it. But I think that I guess it all depends who they hire next as far as like what happens to Osimhen. I know I think United's actually in line for one of their center backs.
Min.
I forgot his career.
Jamin.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, as long as it gets Maguire out, hey, I'll hype that all day long. I'm like, yes, that's what we need. Anybody but Maguire, yes. But it's I know we're going to get into like the summer transfers in a short bit, but yeah, I think that with City, having the trouble, having Haaland coming in his first year and break the season record for goals,
most contributions.
Like, I think everything finally hit right, and like slowly but surely, like they've actually accumulated like a really stacked trophy case. I mean, like going back, even like when the project first got started back in 2009, like pretty much you're talking about the last 10 years where they've won 7 out of 10 Premier League titles. They've won, I think, like 4 or 5 League Cups, I think 2 FA Cups, and now they finally have the Champions League on top of it. And now there's talk that Pep might be leaving in 2025 when his contract ends. Y'all think that's a good move?
Go out while you're on top, but I don't know. He's tried long enough. He could go to a national team, although I don't think that bodes well for his style.
Well, what's next?
Whatever.
That's the real question, right? He's pretty much done it all from a club standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. He's been in Germany, he's been in Spain, he's been here in England.
You know what?
You said here in England, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere in England, at least not right away. I did see a tweet from Taylor Twellman mentioning MLS, And of course, for those of y'all that don't know, like when he left Barcelona back in, I think it was 2012 or 2013, he spent actually basically was a gap year living in New York City, and of course, given the connection with New York City, NYCFC, and Man City, both owned by City Football Group, what Taylor Twellman was saying was that perhaps he moves over to NYCFC as they move into their new stadium and making that work. I was hoping to
be a great jump off launch pad for that project where they get into a new stadium. We have this whole Messi craze with MLS, so you take a superstar manager, and I think that creates a formula that MLS would be willing to all buy into with this whole Messi thing. People are finding out that all the teams bought into this, so I think it could, ride along and kind of in an accompaniment of that same style of deal.
I mean, he could try to go ahead and get on that Messi trade, since it looks like Messi trying to sign all of Barcelona 2015 over to Inter Miami. Of course, trust me, we don't get to that too, Jermaine, because we had definitely got a good load from Cali during the weekend episode.
Fabrizio, who?
That pretty much dominated that whole episode, but
right.
But what we'll ask you to just kind of catch you back up is, would you be ready for Pep to leave in 2 years?
Only if we had a solid replacement, and the only replacement I kind of have in mind is Vincent Kompany. So if Vincent Kompany was locked and ready to go by 2025, then I'd be okay with Pep going. But to be honest, I know Devin was like, what more can he do, bro? More Champion Leagues, bro. More win, more trophies, bro. As much as possible, bro.
Yeah.
As much as possible. We want all of them, bro. As much as possible.
I mean, honestly, he could be. It's actually, I thought about this yesterday. Tacking on to what Jermaine just said is like, we don't have the manager stability situation that we used to see 10 years ago. So maybe Pep gets that, that pass. Like Ronaldo got the pass in Saudi Arabia or whatever. Like maybe Pep he's the manager for this generation that changes or outlasts, or, outlives, or
I mean, he's kind of already doing that now.
That's what I'm saying, but like maybe he chooses, he has to want to. Like Fergie had to want to stay for that length of time, Arsene had to want to stay for that length of time. Even Diego Simeone, like, come on, man. Like, you don't see these kinds of things still happening in management these days. It's just unheard of.
That's very true.
Like, I mean, Roberto Di Matteo, for crying out loud, 7 years of the national team?
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah,
so I mean, that could be a cool way, Maybe he goes to a new project at NYFC, but maybe he stays and is a dynasty manager and does some Ancelotti shit in England.
I think that for him, I definitely think that as long as he wants to be there, I can't imagine, the sheikhs not taking care of him. Make sure that, hey, as long as you want to be here, we will make sure you are paid beyond words. And anything that your heart's desire, they'll have him covered. I mean, like, the only thing I can really see if he was to leave Man City, I just can't imagine Spain not coming to him and be like, hey, we got another generation that looks pretty solid. A lot of good guys from Barcelona, Pedri, Gavi. Like there's the leadership is the players are there. We just need a coach to make it work. I mean, I think they have I forgot who they hired after the World Cup, but assuming that doesn't work for the Euros next year, or by the or things aren't looking solid by 2025, they'd be like, hey, the moment's yours. You can have the rest of this cycle plus the next cycle and we go from there. So, I mean, of course, I've seen some crazy people talk about he should come since he has his love for the U.S. He should go ahead and come manage the national team. Of course, we already interviewed apparently 10 people today, so he could just be one of so many. But yeah,
it would work. Yeah, well, but. Like I said this earlier, I don't think it would work. He needs to work with players in such intimate of a setting and like frequency.
Yeah,
that I don't think that he gets the same results out of an international side. Even if he had a stacked side, send him to England for all I care.
I don't think he would fail.
Or Brazil or whatever.
I definitely don't think he would fail.
Or Spain.
But I do agree. I don't think he would be successful. Pep is very intimate, in your face, like emotional connection kind of guy. So yeah, to not have that day in and day out, I definitely, I can not see him being as successful. I mean, is he a good coach? You're like, yeah, he's a good coach. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, I don't see him failing, but yeah, he definitely wouldn't be as successful.
What you got, Jermaine?
I mean, Greggo, to your point, so with Pep, right, like he's a system guy, right? So he has a system, right? The players need to fit his system. I think the prospect of him being the manager or a potential future manager of Spain might work, even though, right, there's not that frequency and intimacy of kind of seeing the players on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's the Spanish national team, also is kind of part of that,
right,
Barcelona ecosystem, right? So Spain could probably be the only, not only, I don't want to say that, but Spain could be a country where he could possibly be successful only because the national team seems to fit the system that he already.
They are familiar with it. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like Dutch would be another side.
Yeah, yep.
Or that falls on based on that classification.
That would be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be super, super, super interesting. Kind of like returning the favor from when Cruyff went to Barcelona.
That'd be beautiful, to be honest. Yeah. That'd be poetic.
Like this, that full circle shit would be like, yo, like here we go. But
they'd be waxing on that one from the media standpoint all day.
But yeah, here we are. We have reached the end of the official European season. I feel like some of us are a bit disappointed with our club, your European clubs, and some are like, hey, we're lit on the top of the world.
Blue moon.
You know what?
You saw me standing alone.
But what do you see as far as like what next steps for your team for, of course, going into this summer and for next season? What you start with that, Devin?
So essentially, I think, as I've mentioned on here before, our biggest downfall, right, was we didn't have our strongest 11 since we crashed out of the Europa League. I don't even want to say crashed out, but like since the Europa League. But we did because our core got hurt during the game. Where it mattered the most, we, during that second half of the season where we couldn't take advantage of it because we didn't have our strongest 11. So obviously, our back line is very important and building depth. Are we ever going to get on that guy's level? I don't know, but just having that depth is important for when our players go down. Once somebody went down, that was it for us, right? And that's kind of how we were able to be so successful for so long, because obviously outside of Gabriel Jesus, who was out for a significant time, nobody else was. So obviously building up that back line and solidifying our midfield are going to be two things, right? So Xhaka's gone. I haven't seen the official announcement, but he's going back to Germany. So that's one midfielder gone right there. So we need to, have him replaced. Obviously, our number one target this summer, it's pretty much a done deal. Should be announced, I would say, within the next week or two, is Declan Rice, right? So, again, another young English superstar that's tearing up the league. I think he fits perfectly into our system, into Arteta's system, and he takes up that spot. And then also, Partey, he wasn't his best all season for some reason. He was very inconsistent. He was either the best of the best or he was a complete ghost. So we definitely need somebody strong in his position as well. And that's where we're looking at Moises Caicedo as well from Brighton. I love that man. I'm a closet Brighton fan. I was a big fan of, thank you for Trossard. Matoma was lighting up the league. He was definitely one of the most fun players to watch this entire season. And then Caicedo as well. So I think if we get those two in our midfield, we're great. And then to solidify our back line, we are looking at João Cancelo. So if we can get those three in, I'm happy. I'll take anything else after that is playing with house money. So
if I could add, you need a replacement for Martinelli. He had an outstanding season.
Oh, we're good
if
there.
He goes down.
I didn't mention that because we're good there. We're good.
Sure, you got. I don't think that guy is gonna be
Which guy are we
putting out
about?
those numbers.
We got two of them.
Point blank. Trust.
One, so he came in during the middle of January, and he was pretty much the best January transfer of the entire league. So I'm not doubting him. And then we also extended Reece Nelson, so that boy's about to go ham. So we got.
We'll see. If he has a breakout year like Martinelli did last year, then sure, you're in good hands.
I definitely think that it's definitely depth in the back line. Definitely got to figure out, who is going to be behind Jesus, because I definitely think that Martinelli started strong when Jesus was out, but then he also faded. So it's like you want to make sure that the front line is kept in, the quality is kept intact if and when someone goes down. And then of course you already took care of re-upping with Saka, so
everybody's extended. We're good. Saka's extended. Martinelli's extended. Saliba, we're good.
I think it's still working on Odegaard. I think that one's
he's
a huge one, and I definitely think he's the straw to stir to drink right now. So,
Capitan.
So we'll definitely see what we got here. Mr. TK, I mean, this year, man, not a good
Let's just talk about the future.
Oh, what you got?
I don't remember which F in FFP honestly. Is future again.
Ooh.
Extra man, he knows.
Oh, listen, I'm trying to stay out of this. Can I just enjoy this weekend, please? Can I please enjoy this weekend with any talk about F's and P's and all that nonsense?
All right, so what we've done is deferred that, essentially. We've deferred that. That'll be 2 weeks from now. We'll join for that session. I want youth players. This guy by the name of Makuku over at on loan at Borussia Dortmund. I'd love to get him into our system. I think he would be a better fit than our current David Fofana, youth player, youth striker. But in terms of gaps, we definitely need to fill in midfield. I think we need to have a replacement for Conte just in the wings. But I've also have this pretty interesting concept of using Reece James as a center midfielder and then putting Mal Gusto, who is at Lyon on loan, but he'll be with us next season. So I think that could potentially work, but we would still need another, backup cover right back. We're pretty covered on left back. We've got Lewis Hall and Chili B, so that's good to go. Badishil in terms of center backs. I don't know what's going on with Silva. Hopefully he stays another year just so we have some leadership. But we've got Fofana there on the right side, so I'm not really concerned there. There's also Trevor Chalobah, so I think we're good on center backs, honestly. I'd like to see some output from Sterling, or either sell him, but also to link what I said earlier, if we can get the Saudis to buy Koulibaly, I'll take that money all day. Also, if we can get CP, US agent, over to Italy, that's going to be a bag. And
speaking of Italy,
that would also allow us to get Moise Caicedos, because we were smart and we didn't say an offer to Arsenal. To Brighton. We just said we would match Arsenal's offer. So,
speaking of Italy,
you may have Europe, but
speaking of Italy, you actually got to have a guy on the books, Cesar Casadei, who.
Killing it for the U20s, right?
Yeah, he won Golden Ball and Golden Boot for Italy, who was runner-up to Uruguay. I definitely think that, take that momentum up and try to, figure out something with him, because I definitely think that he's definitely one for the future. And there's definitely a solid history of, like, whoever wins the U20 Golden Ball usually ends up being a pretty solid dude. You got Messi, Aguero, Pogba, a couple guys. It's like, I think that he might have actually saved y'all some money if y'all go ahead and roll with him.
Well, I mean, in that regard, nothing's changed at Chelsea in terms of our excellent scouting of youth talent. Like, I still think we're the best. We have at least the top three scouting talents. Like, the club's ability to scout youth talent has got to be in the top three clubs in the world, bar none. Because our ability to just deliver those players, whether they get sold or stick with the club, is a different story. But they come through the Chelsea funnel. There's just too many players with who've been through the claw, for lack of better words. But yeah, man, I'd love to have Caicedo in midfield. I think it's kind of a pipe dream. Arsenal has similar targets, honestly. I'd love to have Rice in our midfield. He would plug a hole. Him and Enzo would be great. Caicedos and Enzo would be great. I think we're pretty much over the line with another CDM option. Ugarte coming from Celtic. He's coming from the Spanish league, so we'll see how that goes. He's highly rated, but we're losing Kovacic, so we really just we're losing Mount likely. So I think our big concern is midfield and the Lukaku situation. Hopefully he goes to Saudi Arabia as well, and we just, like Greggo said, use our youth players and just build on that, man. I really think that's the way forward for us for at least this season. Maybe we can kind of repeat what Lampard did, that kind of whole, thing. Vibes and caffeine or something.
Are y'all sure you want to repeat?
We don't need it next season, honestly. But
I mean, it can really only be up from here. Really only be
No. It could seriously go down. So this is actually going to be the pinnacle season for Chelsea, and in terms of the history books, because if this is already the worst season on the books, so if they go any further down and don't put out this year, this upcoming season, it's going to be a shambles, man. Like, it's really going to be a shamble. Like, I'm not sure the last club that's happened.
Might go back to pre-2002 vibes. We're like, hey, we just support the London club, hoping for our turn.
Well, I mean, we had our fair share of success before then, but even with that, man, it definitely wasn't the same pre-2020, the Abramovich era, for lack of better terms. But yeah, I mean, it could certainly happen. We could see a big club fall in this new generation, which will kind of be cool, but I don't want it to be Chelsea, like, let it be Leeds or whatever.
I mean, I think that more than likely, the best case scenario is like within a year or two, Bowley just sells the club and says, "Fuck it, I can't do it no more." Like kind of like what ended up happening for Liverpool back when they had Tom Hicks, the guy with the Rangers, Texas Rangers, and they sold to John Henry, and you had to kind of like rebuild from there. But I hope he never leaves, and you just have to deal with it. But hey, y'all did get Cat though. Y'all did get Cat, so
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. This season could be totally different because he was making a lot of those decisions as well. So like he said he was going to step back, but that's why I say this is the pinnacle season, because you could literally see the owner drive the club into the ground based off of his own fucking decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see.
So, Professor, I mean, after a season like this, I mean, where else can you really go? I mean, because you're already on top.
Yeah.
Like it's a case of how do you stay on top?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a few discussions being had about just kind of our backline depth. Kyle Walker's a little, his contract is up, I believe, in 2024. Laporte hasn't really seen too many minutes this season. He's also been battling with injuries since the moment he's come. So we're looking at getting who's the brother Guardiola from who's that? The Croatian Guardiola.
Yeah.
Garval from fucking Atletico.
Yeah. Thank you. So that deal looks like it should be wrapping up in the next few days, hopefully. So that should provide some depth in the back line. Similar to TK, I also want to see some of our younger players kind of come up through the system. So this season we saw a little bit of Rico Lewis, who's kind of like this inverted wing back. Spent some time in the midfield a little bit, so that was kind of fun to watch. Still young though, still kind of frail. I don't know if he's like physically like ready for the Premier League. Like every time he played, he was just getting like tossed around, like literally just like tossed around by other players. So I would love to see more minutes from Rico Lewis. Cole Palmer is also another winger that we have. He can kind of fill in for Mahrez. There's been some questions about Mahrez's future with the club. So I kind of want to see our younger players, right, come up through the academy, right? Phil Foden kind of set the example with that. So Pep isn't known for, Pep clubs are not known for necessarily bringing up the academy players. They're known for the big spending, right? But we do have a good academy, right? And we do have some good, promising academy players. Like this is a guy named Oscar Bob who plays for the EDS team, and again another midfielder. So Pep loves his midfielders, so hopefully he might get some more senior minutes next season. So not too many changes, but our big concern is Gundogan, whether or not he's going to resign or sign an extension. His contract is up this year, so we'll see if we can fill that hole. Kovacic is also a name that's been floating around. Man City transfer rumors. I'm not sure how excited I am about that piece. He could, he could provide some depth, but we also have Calvin Phillips, and I want to see more from Calvin Phillips. Right? He's gotten garbage time minutes in games, and I just want to see more from him. I want to see more from him.
He might
crazy enough. We moved John Stones to a center defensive midfielder position.
That right there is a whole revelation itself. Like
hat trick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. It was. I can't stand John Stones.
Me neither.
Pep made that move, bro, I cannot stand that man. Like, for my life, I cannot stand that man. Yeah. But when Pep moved him in there, in that position, like that's when the season really took a turn. Like that's when he started like going up. So that has definitely been, Greggo, that's definitely been the revelation of the season for sure.
Yeah, I think that if England is smart, they'll definitely try to figure out how to use him in that role. Just say, hey, whatever it is that you did here, do that here. So,
and I'm not sure how he did it. Like,
it's the Matteo, the Emmanuel Matic, in my opinion, type of role, like player profile. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. He fits that. He's tall, but he's good on the ball. Yeah. So like, you can put him and be mobile. He could get in there. Use his head. Like, my question for you would be, how would you like to see? Because I personally am not a fan of Calvin Phillips. I don't know how he even got called up to the England roster, but whatever. I can harp on that by myself later. Don't worry about it.
Tough.
I'll do that on my time. Would you rather see him start for City and fill that role, and then have Kovacic as a backup and maybe him partner with Stones, something along those combinations, or who partners with Rodri, basically?
Yeah, who partners with Rodri? I think right now it's hard. It would be hard to move Stones.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Just because he's played well. If it ain't broke, exactly right. So he's played well, but I still want to see Calvin get some more minutes. I want to see what he can do. I feel like he hasn't been given enough opportunities to perform well. I mean, granted, it's just a lot of competition on the squad. But,
yeah, I mean, I feel like
I think going.
I feel like this year he was. He's this year's. Like last year, it was Grealish. This year it's Calvin Phillips. So it's just a matter of, okay, like, so next year at the settle.
Well, the difference is Grealish got minutes last season.
Yeah.
Calvin is not getting minutes this season. He's not getting any opportunity.
That's true too. I mean,
ding. Thank you. hard facts.
We'll see how that goes, but
and you still get picked for the international opera. I'm sorry, I gotta cry about this later.
Funniest tweet I ever saw, real fast.
I really don't have
funniest tweet I ever saw. Somebody said we need to talk about Calvin Phillips passing, and we ain't talking about soccer.
Damn.
All right, we're gonna use this time to. This is gonna be a Henny break, brought to you by Henny.
Henny Derby.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend this is ADSR right here of Henny being poured into a cup. Delicious.
But I really,
that is a hell of a tweet, though.
I really don't have much for United because, of course, everything kind of revolves around who we end up selling to, whether it's I forgot the English guy's name, Sir John something.
Yeah. No,
and Sheikh Jassim, Qatar, and I'm definitely very torn because obviously, we've been told of all of Qatar's, missed dealings and everything over the past decade or so, and I would hate to see that tied in with United. Of course, as much as we bitch about City and their Arab money, we're basically like, hey, it's now good. So I feel like that's a huge contradiction. At the same time,
I'm glad you said that, G.
Yeah, well, trust me, like I'm very, very aware of that. Conversely, with the English guy, I don't know why I can't think of his name. Jim Ratcliffe, actually, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. If I'm not mistaken, his bid would also involve a bunch of loans and would also involve some remaining involvement from the Glazers. And at this point, I'm so ready to be done with the Glazers. You have no idea. Like, the fact that I would even remotely consider the Sheikhs out of Qatar tells you how much I am ready to be done with Blazers. Like, I'm just like, yo, be gone, please. But until we figure out that, of course, we're still like literally like there was a report that came out today on Tuesday. The price of United went up because there was word that the offer from Qatar offer was accepted. Of course, it turned out that that wasn't true. So who knows where things are right now. But until we do that, there's really not much to really discuss. Again, we did mention earlier, looks like we might be able to sign one of the center backs from Napoli, Kim Min-jae. And that's it. As long as we get rid of Maguire, it's a net positive. But obviously, we need to figure out a permanent answer for striker, because I don't know if it doesn't sound like we want to commit to possibly putting Rashford up front, but at the same time, we still need somebody up front. So, because Martial isn't it, the guy we got on loan, Voot, he's not it. So we got to figure out something. So that's probably, I'm pretty sure for what we probably are going to need to spend, it probably would mean we need to get that owner situation taken care of, so that way we got the money, we can go and do that. So I also think that we need to figure out depth behind Casemiro and Eriksen, for as good as they were this year. Obviously, when they were out in March and April, we suffered a huge drop. So we definitely need to look a bit towards the future, as far as, basically finding their successors, basically, because they might not be around in the next 3-4 years. We might only have them 2, maybe 3. So we need to go ahead and be proactive and see about replacing them now. Hopefully, Lissandro comes back healthy, because he was absolutely huge this year. He was an absolute game changer this year. So we definitely need to get him back and healthy, and we got to figure out what's going on their right side, right wing, because Sancho's still struggling. Antony had an okay first season, could have been better. I've been hearing words that one of our young guys might be coming back. Greenwood, he just might be coming back. So depending on what happens there and that fallout, that could really shape things up a bit. But again,
no, stay away.
Why?
No.
I was like, how long is he going to entertain this?
No, I think that's going to be something that's ultimately left up to the new owners. I think I want
to know how you feel about it, though, Greggo.
That's something that's going to be above Ten Hag's pay grade, basically. That's because, of course, given the obviously sensitive nature of sexual assault, I don't know if the owners want to take that hit. Obviously, at one point he was a very talented player, but do you want that negative publicity, basically? And they said they might be able to say, hey, the Manchester United brand is able to withstand it, but I don't know. That's honestly.
We're talking ethics here, man.
Oh no, yeah, trust me, believe me, I know. Believe me, I know. I don't know.
Who do you want to replace him?
We've already ultimately replaced him. It's just a matter of do they want to try to do all the image rehab, basically, that comes along with bringing him back. So that might be something you may have to just let him go and just say, hey, you got to do that on somebody else's watch. It won't be ours.
All right, so entertain this. All right, so they go on the Man United Apology Tour 2023-24. Mm-hmm. Mason Greenwood is back at the club. Mm-hmm. He is now playing in what role? Is he starting? Is he on the bench? Is he the reserve winger? What role is he fulfilling?
They had playing him up front at times before he
went on a streak. Yeah, whatever.
So I think it's a matter of where is he at mentally at this point? Because he might not be that same person that he was 2 years ago. I would think that he would at least get the opportunity to at least come off the bench. I don't see him starting right away. I definitely don't see that. I think there's something where he would literally have to to work his way back in, and of course, whatever opportunities that he does get, he'll have to, obviously perform. Otherwise, it could be something that's a really quick in and out to where he's probably on. If he doesn't show something pretty quickly, it'll be something that would snowball into something even more negative than before, because now not only do you have this negative thing off the field, now you're saying that you can't play. So I think that if it doesn't turn quick, it could be something where he's probably gone by January. So yeah.
So who do you want to replace him? My first question.
I mean,
because that's ultimately what this is.
I mean, that's the thing.
Like, when does he go? Not when. Like, does he leave? It's when does he leave?
If he doesn't turn out quick, I think he'd be gone by January. I don't think that. I think the leash is going to be super, super, super short on him. Just because I don't think that. I don't think United's in the position to where they could take both an on-field and off-field black guys. So next year we'll see them. As far as who, I would love to see us go after Leao, but he just had a new contract with Milan, so that's going to be super, super difficult depending on who we have as owner. Because again, everything ties on to who's the owner. Because I feel like if it's Ratcliffe, he might only have this much of a budget. Obviously, if it's the Qatar guys, that might expand exponentially. So, I think that I would love to see us go after Osimhen. I would love to see that. I think that, especially with Bellingham already signing for Madrid, that's obviously a big loss that I think that any top 6-8 team in England missed out on because he's that good. I heard that Kimmich is on the market possibly, and I would love to see us kick the tires on that. And obviously, I'd be remiss if we did not mention our American boys at Leeds, because one, they're getting way too much undue blame for them getting relegated, but also the fact that not since they are being relegated, they're probably available for a cut rate, and I would love to see Tyler Adams end up at United. I would love it. I think that he would be a guy that could fit that role as far as being that successor in the midfield, because he's only 24. He could afford to come off the bench for the next year or two and grow into that role. And by 2025, he's still just 26. He could probably hold that spot down for the next 5-7 years after that.
4 or 5 years.
So
yeah,
I would love.
He's a good culture player.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good shout.
He's a guy that I think that he does a lot of the dirty work, and I think that he's like you said, he's a culture guy. He's a guy that you need. It's a personality that you want to have both on the pitch as well as in the locker room. So that would definitely be a guy that I would go after. But again, everything revolves around who ends up who we end up selling to, and so it's kind of like it's kind of incomplete as far as how far can we go right now. But I do think that we're of course we won the League Cup this year. We lost the FA Cup. Well, we're getting back to the Champions League next year, so we're definitely in a positive direction. But obviously, we still got a good ways to go as far as catching up to City, Arsenal. I think that Newcastle is a sleeping giant right now because, of course, they have Saudi money as well, and we don't even know like what. We haven't even seen their spending as of yet, so they could kind of blow everybody out the water. I think they're they mushroom over what City has, so they're kind of they're like, hey, be careful. They could be the ones to watch out for. But hopefully, whatever team that you support, whether it be England, Germany, Spain, Italy, or if it's Montenegro, does not matter. Let us know what you think on the social at FTC UTD. Let us know what you think as far as what you think your team should do this offseason to go further. But I did want to circle back real quick and just make note of during the Champions League final, during the pregame, Thierry Henry was given the rare opportunity to speak on racism in the sport. And when I tell you that he got the opportunity to cook, he got the opportunity to cook. And going into not just how players react on the pitch, but we're calling it. He went into just the issues as far as not having black coaches on the touchline managing, not having blacks in the front office. Like, it's definitely a systemic thing, just like how we talk about here with the major sports here. Is no different and probably even worse with soccer. And he got the opportunity to really go in on a lot of things, to where not just do we not have the opportunity to win, we don't even have the opportunity to lose. And that goes to show you like how small of an opportunity that we have. Like, there was a picture that I saw on the socials over the weekend. There was a picture of Vieira, Yaya Toure, and Clarence Seedorf, I guess walking along the sideline, and people were talking about like, imagine this in midfield. I was like, imagine them on the touchline, because they're all retired. I'm like, what about the opportunities now? And I know if y'all had a chance to watch either that segment or either during the game or after the game, but just want to get your thoughts on that piece before we turn this in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start. Just obviously, I'm the man I am today, because of Thierry Henry, right? It was literally to see a black man on my TV screen that was a world beater, right? He's literally, to me, the equivalent of Michael Jordan from a soccer standpoint, right? So it's always, it means a lot to me, I should say, that, how much he recognizes that he himself is a black man. To be this minority, to be such a minority in such a whitewashed area was definitely how I even noticed him, how I even became to be such a fan of him. So for him to just have such awareness of who he is and his awareness of reality, right? Of what's going on, it was I have nothing but respect for that man, right? I mean, he was even being, he even took it philosophically to a point, eyes are useless if the mind is blind, right? It was a very powerful line, and I think everybody, that got a chance to watch the segment, and I highly recommend if you haven't, that you do. Everybody felt that. Everybody knew what he meant by that, right? And it's as bad as it is here, it's so much worse, across the pond. Like, I mean, what owners do we know, or anything? What presidents do we know are black? We barely got black coaches as it is, and the black coaches that are in England, we could probably count on one hand. And the second they lose 3 games, they're fired. So it's it's a huge problem. So if we're not being respected from the top, like, how can we expect anybody else to respect us as well? We have to, again, we can demand respect, but if nobody wants to listen, what's the point? So, again, I very much appreciated it. I have nothing but respect for that man. I think he made some very valid, powerful points.
Absolutely. What you got, Doc?
I mean, firstly, Thierry Henry is, I'm sure for a lot of us, right, he was that guy, right? He was definitely that guy. Even as a City supporter, I mean, it was Henry and Drogba for me, right? Like those were the two guys that really just set it off for me. Until Greggo, going back to that picture, until Yaya came to City, again another black player just kind of grabbed my attention. And so definitely it's just great to hear, as Devin said, it's great to hear kind of our heroes be able to articulate that in such a very beautiful kind of philosophical way. I think, but the one thing that stood out to me with what Henry said was this the difference between the monkey chants, the kind of explicit racism with the everyday racism that black folks experience outside of football, right? So he was like, Vinny, if Vinny can't get protected, right, with the shit that he has to go through on the field, then what does it look like for the average black person on the street, right? And so, and these things are connected, right? I mean, Devin, when you were speaking, it's like, of course, like if these major sports have maybe not a majority, but if they have a substantial number of black head coaches in the Premier League, right? If the presidents, if the owners, if you have a few black owners, right, then society sees that, right? Society sees black people in leadership positions, and so society starts to think, okay, maybe black people aren't dumb, right? Maybe black people aren't monkeys, right? Maybe they actually are capable of leadership and these different qualities. And so these things are related, right? And so often, I get very frustrated when the conversation around racism in football comes up as if we can just kick racism outside of football, then we'll be good, right? And I think what Henry was saying is like, listen, this is more than football. This is a societal issue that is related to football, right? And if we don't address both of them, then these things are just going to continue to happen, right? I mean, you can do the point reductions, you can do all the different punishments, but if it's still happening in society, which it is, right? Whether you're in the U.S. or whether you're in England, then it's going to continue to happen in football. So, very well said by Henry. And I'm just similar to Devin. It's just it's good to always see your heroes, your black heroes, talk about these things, right? So shout out to Henry all day.
Yeah, the big thing was just being able to get that platform on such a global stage, and of CBS of all networks, because they definitely don't have the best history with racism on their networks, and they gave them almost a good 10 minutes on air, and that was huge. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give them a shout out for doing the right thing for one time. But any last words on this, TK?
Just a lot of the same that Jermaine said. For me, it was Henry, a little bit on the back end, but more a Drogba, and just that role that they played in terms of the soccer Michael Jordans to younger black generations of young generations of black kids. Wow. But yeah, so it's just like even Micah, accentuated to the point during that broadcast where he was like, yes. I had options. I could have been a manager. Yeah. I could have went to broadcast. And they're like, but for me, when I sit at home and I talk to myself about what looks plausible, the most plausible for me in my career and success, if I want to emulate anything that I did in my playing career as a player, then I'm going to choose broadcasting. I was like, that's completely it's dismantling to people like me. As I'm in a leadership role in my 9-to-5 job that I have, and I have to establish myself and present myself as a black man every day. And I'm in charge of a company where I make big shots. I shot call, for lack of better words, and there's not a lot of people in that same leadership position. So I feel it's a lot of similarities to this lack of black managers and that presence. And so, yeah, man, it's, we just need to eliminate the racism in society, and it'll just stop bleeding over into football, and we'll be good. So, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. Again, that point made by Micah was definitely telling, because like you do have guys who want to go into coaching, and hopefully aspire to be a manager, but the opportunities just aren't given like that, and obviously we want that to change, but that still relies on people who don't see us as viable for reasons that likely make no sense at all, are based in prejudice, and it's all bullshit. But
Yo.
What's up?
No, just concurring, man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, I know the full clip is available on Twitter through CBS Sports Galazzo's Twitter feed, and I'm pretty sure it's available on their YouTube as well. Again, it's a must listen, must watch, and definitely check it out. Again, it's
asterisk that clip, because if it goes off, we watch it.
Yeah.
If it disappears, we watch it.
But again, this is our last international episode for at least probably the next month. We'll kick things back in probably after once Messi
Nations
starts.
League.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got that coming up this
tomorrow.
Week. Yeah, we play Mexico, right?
Italy. Italy plays tomorrow. Spain plays tomorrow.
And apparently, I didn't realize that we have this year's Nations League, but there's also another Nations League next year as well. The one next year is the one that determines if we make it to the Copa America next summer. It's all confusing. Again, if you Google Nations League, CONCACAF doesn't even come up. UEFA's comes up. You might want to think about different branding, but yeah, we play Mexico this week, and then assuming we make it through that, we'll make it to the this year's Nations League final, which I guess now knowing that, just don't get anybody hurt, BJ. Just don't do that much. But I am curious to see what 11 that we come up with, because I think especially with this will be Balogun's debut with the national team. So, and I think that at least for there was a mock-up 11 that we posted on Twitter earlier, and I'm like, that looks good. I think you had Balogun, Reina behind him, U.S. agent on the left, Weah on the right, Musa and McKinney in the midfield, Jedi, I think Reynolds, Miles, and Dest on the back line. I love it. I mean, obviously we don't have Adams there, but even without him, I'm like, that looks pretty damn good.
Lena, right?
And, who's keeper?
Take that too.
Turner.
Turner. Okay, I was gonna say I think a guy got.
It looks like he'll be put on double duty because the Gold Cup roster was just announced. And like I hoped, they're calling up mostly a B roster, but some holdovers from 5 or 6 holdovers from the Nations League roster. But I definitely think that this is the move to make for right now. Just see who steps up, during this tournament, and that we can move forward with those along with the rest of the A guys come the fall, and hopefully by then we will have given our rose to one manager. Like I said, we interviewed apparently the report was over 10 today, so it looks like Crocker and Gooch are hard at work, and hopefully we'll have somebody in place pretty soon. All that to say, it's been a great season over in Europe. I want to thank you guys for checking us out with the international episodes. Again, if you haven't done so already, we did the weekend episode that just dropped a day or so ago. Again, thanks to Callie and Mean Mark. Again, Cali is the insider. Insiders, he's the culture insider. You know, he had the scoop on Messi before pretty much anybody else. I did want to get. I guess I could cover this as an up, a preemptive up, Jermaine. But again, like of course, it's wild times in Miami right now because it looks like even today as we speak, it looks like there's another Barcelona player that's looking to make the jump over to Miami and Jordi Alba. I'm like, do y'all got the money this time? Like, I don't want y'all to get in trouble again, man.
Right, we just gotta. So we got. I mean, our DP situation is
wild.
Wild. Right. So we're gonna buy down Gregory. That's gonna free up the DP spot for Messi, and then possibly Pizarro might get bought out, kicked out. So that'll free up another DP spot.
In Barcelona,
and the person who might fill that spot is beep.
Hey,
we can't say
listen,
it. We can't say it's G14 classified.
There's some rumors out there that's not Jordi Alba.
Oh yeah, always is.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we shall see, boys.
Like,
it'll be an interesting few weeks.
We need a good bleeper on here.
Like we said, if Pizarro gets sold, just know
it's demon time.
It's on. Hop.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But
it is on.
But yeah, I mean, it's a wild time down in Miami. Like, and again, like one thing that we made sure, I think the consensus that we had as far as like what Messi's long-lasting impact will be just increasing the spending in the league, because it can't be just Miami doing this crazy spending, especially you're about to have a new stadium in New York City. Obviously we have our situation here in Atlanta. Miami's getting their own new stadium. You still have technically two teams in LA that, LA is still LA at the end of the day. And obviously, Seattle, Chicago, Houston, like there's hubs all over the place that
St. Louis and Austin.
Yeah. There's hubs all over the place that can be very attractive for international players. And that means that these teams gotta be allowed to spend that money if they want it and they got it. It has to be done. And I do think that even with the amount of expansion that's already been done, there'll probably be an even bigger influx. That means that, again, I do think we're going to reach a point where you have a bunch of haves and have-nots, and there might be a separation made sooner rather than later. But I think that Messi coming over is going to be absolutely huge. Of course, right now the report is every available ticket has been officially sold. All the tickets are sold out for all Inter Miami games, both home and away. I don't know how long y'all gonna be able to stay up in Lockhart. Good luck on that. But,
Facts.
But I heard the situation with Hard Rock's a little interesting. So to be continued on that. But we'll definitely we'll definitely have a watchful eye over that. But again, we'll still have the weekend episode, which basically just be like our main episode for the next month or so. Of course, we still got these cups coming up this summer. This weekend we have the Henny Derby. I'll be heading up to Richmond this weekend and meeting up with all the homies from Walk at 90, Feathers of Flamingos, River City Red Army. Of course, it kind of ends up being like a de facto family reunion. So, of course, most of us haven't seen each other since probably before the pandemic. So this will be, a pretty dope gathering. I was trying to get Devin to come up, but apparently he has to work. It's all good. It's all good.
Crazy,
but yeah, we're definitely looking forward to having a good summer here with FTC U2D. In the meantime, right now ongoing is of course Prideteenth, bringing together the Pride Juneteenth and Pride forces combined into Prideteenth. We have the collection available at ftcutd.com/shop. get your gear, get your Pride tees, get your Prideteenth name sets, get your regular name sets, and all that jazz. Of course, all portion of the proceeds from Pride tees and the Prideteenth name sets go towards Athlete Allied and the Black Women's Players Collective. They're groups that we worked with last year. They're definitely, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you look into those organizations. And even if you don't get something from us, consider making a donation to them directly. They're definitely worthy of that, and definitely worthy of the support. That's really all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and get my 2 up and 2 down in real quick, because I don't want to hold the team up too much longer. But yeah, we just saw the NBA Finals just end on Monday. The Nuggets winning their first ever NBA Finals. The funniest thing ever with that is just seeing Jokic act like he don't want to be there. He's like, yo, I just want to go home. I don't want to deal with this parade. I don't want to deal with I don't want to pop no bottles. I just say, hey, I just want to get to my horses. Like, it was the absolute funniest shit ever. Shannon Sharp, of course, with the finals ending, he confirmed his buyout with the FS1. So his last day on the student was today, Tuesday, and end of an era. I don't know who else they can put with Skip Bayless though, because like that guy wears at you in ways that just make absolutely no sense. Of course, we already talked about Messi. Again, from what I heard, we got about a little over a month before he shows up here. So get your money right. If you're looking for a ticket, get your money right. Just get it right.
Hey, if you're looking for a ticket, come hit me up. I got an extra ticket for all regular season games. So if you want one, I'll be selling them for $1,000 a pop.
Yeah, like we try to pay rent. We try to pay some bills. So we got things to do. So yeah, hit up your boy. I did have one down about a month or so ago. There was a track and field star that runner Tori Bowie, who passed away. She did not. The circumstances weren't revealed until just this week. Apparently, she was 8 months pregnant and died basically during childbirth. Just a reminder, y'all, Black women go through 6 times the amount of pregnancy deaths than their white counterparts. If you have do better, doctors. Do better to healthcare system, because our women deserve better. They absolutely deserve better. That's really all I got. Again, this weekend we're gonna have a good time in Richmond. So we'll definitely have some ups next week. So I guarantee you that. So that's all I got. Professor, actually no. So you're the champ right now. I'm gonna have you back cleanup. CK, what you got, man? Or not?
I think you muted, bro.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, the wifey came in, had to take care of the baby for a second.
Take care of the baby, baby.
Yeah, two babies, two kids, 2K. Yeah, I mean, I'll just roll with it down in terms of personal stuff for me going on. I guess we're all susceptible to pressure, but it's actually kind of like the black coach thing, man. We were just talking about, man. It's just some snakes in the grass thing. They want to come at you if you lose 3 games and it's shots for your head. Not that I lost anything, but yeah, man, just some snakes in the grass in my personal vicinity, man, and it's just real disappointing. I thought better of the particular person, and yeah, we're just gonna keep on striving to be who I am. But yeah, it's just like super disappointing to kind of hear some things on the back end. And then another big down is I was going to get lunch today. I saw this guy walk across the street. It looked like a doppelganger of a friend of mine from high school. So I recorded a video and went to post it on his Facebook page, only to find out that he passed away 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So rest in peace to the big homie Cole Dooley. Probably one of the best guitar players, if not the best untrained guitar player I've ever met in my life. So yeah, man, that was just super sad, disheartening to kind of come upon that information in that fashion, that manner. But yeah, man, rest in peace, God bless. And it really hit home because man's got a daughter. So, you know, hug your kids, check on your people, you know, make sure you getting out there and participating in life, because it could be gone any second. And on the ups, I don't sound like I don't have anything good going on, but I guess excited for the All-Star weekend. Contrary to Greggo's announcements during this pod, we do have some content coming to bridge the gap for this international break with Europe, and since the Euro seasons are over, so yeah, it's just be waiting for that. We do have some stuff that we'll be dropping for you, and yeah, just more awesome things on the horizon from the Cultureverse, FTC, and 2 Cents, all the fam.
You
walking.
Devin.
Yeah,
what you got, man?
I always I feel like I keep my ups the same. It's been so much going on, but we actually have our Challenge Cup match tomorrow against North Carolina Courage. It should be interesting. Over the weekend, they did win their match 5-0, and Carolyn scored a hat trick. So we'll see if they're bringing that same energy to Audi tomorrow. We are also fresh off a W, beating the Beaches this weekend. Angel City beat them 2-1. So that was a fun game, and this match against the Courage tomorrow will conclude a 4-game homestand that we've had. So your boy is tired. But can't wait. Excited times as always. Also looking forward to everything coming up this summer. MLS All-Star, I will be there as well. Just got a text as the podcast is going. Some major superstar that will be playing for one of our teams. It is heavily rumored that he will be making an appearance by a couple verified accounts on Twitter. So, Jermaine, get Callie on that to officially break that, if that is true or not, because the verified accounts are certainly tweeting it. So yeah, those are my 2 ups. Man, do I have some downs? I'm not going to go into too much. Life's good right now. I'm in a happy place. I'm doing things that I love to do, changing the world with some people that I love changing the world with. There's no downs.
Absolutely, man. I did want to just pull out this little something that I did to treat myself with this past week. Of course, the Women's World Cup coming up in a couple about a little over a month from now. I had to go ahead and just drop some coin on the on some of the on one of the Nike's jerseys that came out. I couldn't make up my mind, so I had to go with either the blue, and yeah, this thing's nice, man. It's real nice.
You can't go wrong with that, bro.
Yeah, and I pulled in my inner shea butter. I got my fist. I got some shoes to go with it that came in right today. So that's it. We're doing good right now. Boss Doc, again, it's your week, man. So close us out. What you got?
Obviously, first up, City treble. If y'all don't know, Manchester City won the treble.
Shut up.
I don't know if y'all knew that or not. FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. That's definitely my first up. Second up is just, selfless plug, Dreaming of Freedom. We just started doing video, so that's kind of exciting for us as a podcast. So if y'all haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and check us out on YouTube. And then the down, I'm only going to stick with one down. That's, of course, my beloved Miami Heat losing the NBA Finals. It is what it is. It was a good run. We were the 8th seed. Should have never been that far. So, I'm just excited that we made it that far. And, we'll see what happens next season. We're already talking about picking up some interesting pieces. So we'll see what happens.
Really interesting pieces. So, yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all tried,
I'm going to admit right now that I didn't realize you were a Miami fan. Knowing you were in Miami.
Yeah, y'all.
Oh, yeah, bro. Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins. What else?
Ooh, that's pain.
Shout out to the Panthers.
Yeah, they just lost. Vegas are Stanley Cup champs. And, hey.
I'm not a big hockey fan.
It could be worse. Y'all could be Philly, man. Like I said, it seems like.
I mean, if you're a Dolphins fan, you know pain. It's all right.
Oh, I know all the pain. But this season, we up. We looking up. We looking up, baby. We looking up.
That's what's up, man. But yeah, I think that's all we got. We got any last words for the culture, guys?
Dev said it.
Nah, man.
Oh man, but yeah. Again, this weekend I'll be in Richmond for the Henny Derby. Shout out to Yogi, Ebony, Kyle, and the rest of the Falcon team. Like we'll all be up at that. I believe we have a live roundtable Friday night, so keep an eye on the socials for more information on that. I should be in town for that, so definitely looking forward to participating in that. Saturdays, the big game. So I guess my first one since 2019. So it should be a good time. So of course, in the meantime,
it'll be a good time. Might not be a good match. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, I guarantee it'll be a good time. Of course, we'll until then. Of course, the conversation continues on the socials of FTC.
UTD.
Oh, okay. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, FTC UTD Pod on TikTok. Hopefully we'll have good G or PG rated video content from this weekend. I will do my best to record. I don't know what state I will be in, but I know we'll have something. But make sure that you keep up with us. Walking 90, Dreaming of Freedom, 2 Cents FC, Shea Butter FC. Can I kick it? We're all doing the thing. We're all doing the good work. We're all out here trying to change the world, like Devin says. Again, get your Prideteenth collection at ftcutd.com/shop. Again, follow the whole team. We're out here doing the damn thing. But until then, the culture's real. The culture's everywhere. Again, y'all, if you don't love Janelle Monáe, something's wrong with you. See y'all soon, and we out.
FTC UTD.